Welcome to this episode of the Gatekeepers. I'm David. These are my buddies Cam and Knives, and we are going to talk about the skill of growing because growth is not something that just happens. You kind of got to be in the know on how to do it. But before we do that, I need to address the elephant in the room. My lighting is on point, and it's more on point than these two bozos. So we're just going to focus on me. This is the best shot here. This is the beauty shot. I'm ready for my close up.
You look beautiful, but
I know I do.
I look fucking great. And Cam has never looked bad any episode. I keep moving things around. I keep tweaking shit to make it look as good as him. He looks so crunchy and I just want to eat that shit.
Cam's
So we all look
Cam's
good.
setup
Let's be
Cam's
real.
setup right now is the proof that you don't need this many lights. You don't like.
No, but
What are
he's
you
got
using, Cam?
lights,
What is it,
man.
Cam? No, he's got. No, he
I'm
doesn't.
not using my normal setup right now.
He's
This isn't my
not.
normal setup because normally I would have three lights running. Right now, I literally have this one light over here, and I'm bouncing a light off my wall right now. This isn't my normal setup. I'm just making it work, and I'm loving it.
Yes, but are you shooting at 50 millimeters on the RF 50 millimeter 1.2?
Nah,
Are you?
I'm shooting
Nah.
on a
Well,
Sigma 24 millimeter 1.4.
well then your shit don't
Ooh.
count, my G.
Yo, so
So
you're on the R right now, right, Cam?
yes, sir.
When you film in 4K, that's a crop, right?
Yeah. So if I
That's basically
switch,
a
if I,
40 millimeter. That's basically a 40 millimeter 1.4.
exactly.
That's nothing to sneer at. How fucking dare you, Dave? Oh my god.
Yeah, but it's not the RF 50 millimeter 1.2. And that in and of
Oh my
itself
word.
is a flex. I've had so many people when I
Leave
tell
a
them
comment
about this
down below
lens.
if you love David Lugowski and just how much he loves his lens right now. If you can relate,
I
leave a
love my
comment,
lens. I'm
please.
so sorry. A burp just slipped out while I was talking. I'm so sorry. But no, the 50 millimeter f1.2L is an incredible lens. And if anyone's got the money, absolutely to get that one. Don't get that dinky little nifty 50. It's not nifty.
Oh
Um,
my
It's
god, this
barely a
guy.
micro penis.
being somebody that has that one, nah, ignore that. If you can only afford getting that one, get that lens, okay?
Oh
Never.
my word.
So
So this
Well,
week's episode, we're talking
at
about
any rate, we all look fucking good and we all know it today.
hell yeah.
Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah. Oh yeah. Today we're definitely killing it. The idea of growth as a skill, I think, is really interesting. You know, I was scrolling on TikTok as yeah, one
always.
does in the bad times, and while I was scrolling, I kept seeing all these videos on how to grow, and I just kind of thought to myself, like, well, what if someone does all this? Because I have a few people that I follow that I'm friends with on TikTok that from the day I started following them and they followed me, they have stayed in this range of followers the whole time. Very little growth in between, you know, when I first got on TikTok, which is like 2 years, and now. And I don't know, the idea that, you know, growing on social media or growing creatively is a skill within itself kind of fascinates me a little bit. I wanted to talk about it with you guys because you guys might have some insight. You guys seem to be, as I said in a previous podcast, semi-literate, semi-intelligent people.
Semi-intelligent. Oh, what a
Okay.
burn. What a burn. What a burn. Well, first of all, I guess I am semi-intelligent because when you had mentioned this topic of growth, I thought it
Mm-hmm.
was like I thought it was like development, like self-development is what I thought you
Well,
meant.
yeah,
But
that
you're
too.
talking about
That
like
too.
growth hacking on
Yeah.
the talk, on the
Growth hacking
gram
on
and like
Instagram. Yeah, growth hacking on, like, you know, yeah,
those
on the
two
talk
things are not
Instagram.
mutually
Yeah.
exclusive.
No, they are not. No, because that's what the other
No,
thing
they're
is,
not.
like growing creatively. You know, I just did a YouTube video, which, by the way, everyone should check it out on my channel. It's up. It should be up now. It should be up. If it's not, it should be up soon. But one of the things that I talk about is like creatively growing is very hard because you have to figure out how to improve without any other uh interjection from other people. And I know that we all go to each other like, oh, how's this photo look? How's this photo look? But at the end of the day, what really is important is your ability to be able to look at something you did and go, that looks like shit. I need to fix it.
True. Well, to be honest, this is a very interesting topic. Um, I'm hearing something. Oh, it's you. It's you. I'm sorry. I'm fucking crazy today. I apologize. I'm all out of control. I'm hearing something, but it's y'all. But it's good. It sounds good. I apologize for the listeners. So, honestly, it's really interesting that you bring this subject up because Cam might have more to say about this. Because actually, I have been on YouTube for oh gosh,
We
since
went over this. It was like 12
2006.
years or something. It was like
Yeah. So for so long, and I
Yeah.
stayed at my original channel. I never cracked more than like 1,500 subscribers. I never hit more than 2,000. Even when it was like the
Really?
easiest thing to do, when it was easy, like in 2007, 8, 9, 10, it was easier to get subs.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I really hit a plateau, and then I don't really consider Facebook like there's no vanity metrics there that I care about.
Yeah.
Friends, like I don't really care about that. Um, when Tumblr had tick, probably before y'all's time, I was a
Oh my
mad
Whoa.
god. I
Tumblr
remember
dude.
Tumblr. I remember Tumblr. Oh my
All
Dude,
god.
right,
Tumblr was the shit.
so I'm gonna say this. This might be a little nugget that you don't know, but Tumblr is
Ooh.
back.
Tumblr
Tumblr's
is back.
back?
Yeah. Tumblr is back. Yeah.
Tumblr is back. Yeah,
Oh,
Tumblr is
that's
back
exciting. That's
because
exciting.
Tumblr doesn't have ads, so all like millennials, everybody that left it, now the new generations are going back to it because
Yeah.
they're just looking to see artwork.
Yeah.
So I've been posting my stuff up on there now, and
Yeah.
yeah, Tumblr's back.
I
I'm
haven't
happy to
gone to
hear that.
Tumblr.
I was a Tumblr fiend. I was popping on Tumblr. It was great. And then, I never really grew on anything outside of TikTok. TikTok, I got about 6.5K right now. And
Mm-hmm.
I go through crazy periods where like I'll just go off the grid for like 3 months at a time. Obviously, I stop growing during those times, but I do that a
Obviously,
lot
yeah.
because I got mental problems, man. And
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
I
fair.
wish I was more consistent. That is the key. The key is consistency. No matter who you are, what you are, where you come from, what you bring to the game,
I
consistency is key.
disagree.
So unfortunately, I'm
I
not the most
disagree.
qualified guy. Like, well, and this is
So
why I'll pass the baton to you guys because I feel like I have more to learn here than I do to tell people kind of how to grow. When it comes to self development, I try. I
Mm-hmm.
try really, really hard for mental
Well,
clarity
that's
and
all
things
we
of that
can
nature.
do. That's all we
When
can do with that. Yeah.
when it comes to the game, a lot of my old school baggage, like my not just old school baggage, but my experience kind of works against me because I find
Mm-hmm.
myself having to unlearn more and more and more as time goes by. So I think
mhm.
in this episode, I'll be more of a listener taking notes from you guys.
Oh, oh,
Let me
that's a
throw
bad
my
idea.
hat in. Yeah, let me throw my hat in there real quick. So in my time of shooting using Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Tumblr, all of those ones. One thing I've learned is that it used to be consistency is key, but no, fuck that. Your content is key. Your content is
Mm,
what matters. Doesn't matter
mm.
if it's like
I was
doesn't matter what
just
program
about to
it is,
say that. I was
platform you're
just about
on.
to say.
Like your content is good. Your
Mm.
content is king. It doesn't matter. It's like I recently said, like hashtags, fuck hashtags. They don't mean shit and
Yeah.
whatnot. They don't do anything to one hashtag, and it even shows you if you look at a hashtag, right, and you look right below it, it'll tell you how many people is using that hashtag
Hmm.
every second. It's not every day, not every hour. It's every second, and most of them in an hour are like 100,000 people, 1,000,000 people, billion people. So it's like, why would I use the hashtag? Like you're gonna find people that say, yeah, use smaller hashtags and a few bigger ones. Fuck that. Okay, nobody's going to know. Like people, like you might go say you go to a new area. You could look up for models, or you could look
Mm-hmm.
up New York models, and you're going to get a long list of them. Cool, whatever. That's just for you to go click and follow and whatnot. If somebody else is blowing up, then your photo is going to get moved down. Fuck hashtags and whatnot. Let your content be key. Because if your content is key, content is looking great, people are loving it, then somebody's going to share it. Somebody shares it. Now you're getting access to their followers. If their followers share that word again because they like it, now you're getting access to their followers and their followers. And if that keeps rolling down, that's where you're going to win. But there's more to it because I've recently learned that social media is a bigger platform than just the one that we use. There's how should I put this? You got Instagram, you got TikTok,
LinkedIn,
you got YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Tumblr, Facebook, MySpace,
Twitter,
um,
MySpace is still around. Back
Twitter.
the fuck
I'm just,
up.
it's
Friendster,
not,
Live
it's
Journal,
not. I'm just throwing that
Napster.
one out there. Exactly. You have all of
Napster.
these ones, but here's where they're all connected and what they all go back to. Go back to Google.
Hmm.
They
So
all go
so
back to Google.
your argument
So
here is
It's not an
that
argument. It's been proved.
no, hold on.
There's
So
a
your
company
argument,
that
hold on. Your argument here is that content has to be king so that it is indexed by Google.
no, that's not what I'm saying. Content is king just for it to be just for people to like it and to share it and stuff like that. What
Okay.
I'm saying is, if you want to utilize social media the most, you need to post on more than one platform. Reason being
Yeah,
is
Right,
that
because
duh,
Google's the
yeah.
number one search engine in the world, and you
Google
want to
is
be
the
able to.
number one.
Yeah.
You want to flood Google so that
Yeah.
way your stuff is always popping up no matter what. So that way Google's going to be like, oh, well, you know what?
Yeah.
Hey, this keeps showing up here, here, and here, and here. This name
Yeah.
keeps showing up here, 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 and here
That's
on a
right.
constant basis.
Mhm.
Let's move this to the front of the line.
Let
It
me
looks
let me
like it's
throw
also connected to this word right here. Move it in, put it into that area.
allow me to throw a wrench in your what you're saying here. So you have to
Before you
post
do
the
that, David,
same,
let me ask you a question. Before you do that,
you know,
what is the number one search engine website on the world?
YouTube.
Okay, what's the second most?
Hold on, no. What
Yeah,
is
I
you?
know,
Who
I
is
know.
YouTube owned by?
Google. Yeah,
Yes,
obviously
Google.
Google is the answer. I
Go-
understand what you're saying. I'm
Google
just
and YouTube. Google and YouTube are both number one, right?
yes, of
Yes.
course. Yeah, and they're
And
essentially
continue to your point.
Google. Essentially, Google is 1 and 2. But what I'm
That's
getting
right.
at here is if you're posting content on multiple sites, right, on multiple platforms, what happens when you come across a platform not built for the type of content that you are going to publish? Like Twitter, for
Example.
example. Twitter, you can't really post videos on Twitter. Like you
You
can,
can.
don't get me wrong, but
Not. No,
it's not good. Like I posted my videos on Twitter a handful of times because it's not that good. And there's no way
define
to
good. What do you mean? Searchable? What do you mean by good?
quality
What does
and
good mean?
searchable. It's not searchable and the quality is degraded like like wow. What was
I see what you're saying.
substantially.
Well, so
Yeah. It's compressed
let
up
me
the
ask you
ass.
this: what
Yeah.
Yeah.
what is Twitter actually used for? Right? As far as me, I see Twitter as that in the moment. Here it is now. This is what's going on. Let's pump this out. Right?
That's
Yes,
right.
but
Yeah.
but the idea that you're saying is to post
Tw-
content on
Twitter has
multiple.
better photo compression than Facebook does.
That's true. Oh, I love posting my photos on Twitter. I don't
But
do
I
it
know you
okay.
nearly as
do.
often. Yeah.
So you're. It sounded like you were asking me about posting content, correct?
Yeah.
So as far as we know, content is a broad range of terms, correct?
Yes.
Content can consist of worded content where it's literally just words. You got video
That's right.
content, photo content, graphic content. You got content.
That
So
is
what
that's
type
the
Podcasts,
of
definition
audio,
of
content?
content.
sonic content. Yeah.
Sonic content. So what type
Yeah.
of content do you mostly see on Twitter?
Text, obviously.
Yeah. Text. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's
so
but what I'm
this,
saying is if you have a video that you're going to post on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram Reels, all of which are searchable and you can upload high quality video to, if you try to do that on Twitter, you can't. You're immediately going to be hit with two of your main issues. One, the compression is going to beat the shit out of your video, and two, it's not searchable.
hey David,
Yes, but you
the
understand that basically
words.
which the equivalent of what you're saying is like if you try to write a blog on Instagram, it won't do as well. That's like the equivalent of what you're saying, but you have to
Yes, I
use
know.
these platforms contextually, natively in which they're supposed to be
Obviously,
used.
I'm just throwing a wrench out there for the
You're
sake of
just
throwing a
so
wrench.
you're saying
I sound
Here's
Twitter's not
your
the place for
here's your
video. That's your point, right?
that is my point. Yeah, Twitter's definitely not the
Yeah,
place
I
for
don't think
video.
I don't think that throws a wrench. I don't think that throws a wrench into what Cam's trying to
because
say about
it,
Google.
it
True, maybe not. Yeah.
that's all it really comes back to is Google. Like your content is key. Yeah, okay, you can't put your videos on Twitter, so don't do it. Write a Twitter
Mr.
about your video.
Let me ask both of you this question, and I think I know
Okay.
the answer, but I don't want to be presumptuous. If you could have 1 million followers or subscribers on either YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, or TikTok, which one would you want and why?
YouTube.
YouTube, aka Google. Cam.
YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, I honestly I'm not sure. I never saw myself having that many followers, so I can't say. I mean, the biggest platform I got right now is TikTok, and that's
But
only like
but with great power
26
comes
of them.
great responsibility, right?
Yeah.
So if you had that power, where would you want to allocate it? Ideally for you, in which you know natively that
You know
you
what?
would be able to do the best with.
You know what? If I had to put it somewhere, I'd put it on my website.
A million email, like you want to capture a
I'd put it
million
on my
emails,
website. Reason why? Because that's going to bump my SEO up. That's going to bring in a better cash
and
flow.
the SEO is going to be searched on what?
Hmm?
Your SEO is
Hold
going
on.
to be searched on
Hold
what?
on a
What
second. Hold
keywords?
It'll
on.
be on
Hold on.
Google.
Hold on. Here's
It
my
all
thing.
comes back to Google. I'm trying
Here's
to
my
make
thing.
Cam's point because I agree with him.
I understand. I disagree with him. I don't think putting it on your website's a good point. I don't think that's
Oh,
actually a good idea.
No,
I think.
I agree that Google is the
Oh
biggest
yeah.
platform that there is for sure.
Oh yeah. No. Google is
Well,
absolutely the biggest platform ever.
do
Yeah.
you guys do you guys use Google Photos or do you guys use Google Maps actually?
Yeah. I used to use Google
Absolutely.
No,
Maps. It was a
I
pain in
mean
the ass.
for putting your photos on Google Maps.
I did
I've
once.
never
I
done that.
did one for a spot in LA. That was about it. I don't. The
That's what I'm
spot's
saying. Like
gone now. Though.
spots that you go to, like even if you take portraits at that spot, you can take those photos, throw them on Google Maps, so that way people see them.
But then
It,
people aren't going to like that because you're interrupting the
not
context.
true.
People aren't going to like
Not
if they're looking for a restaurant and you took photos at the restaurant of a person for like a portrait session and they're looking to see what the restaurant looks like. If you interrupt them with a picture of a person, they're going to be like, "Who the fuck is this? Why do I care about this person? I want to see the
I took,
place." Like
but David, I'm working with a brand that does this shit, and it works for them. They're a coffee company, and they
oh
post
yeah,
their shit
bean to
on
bean, yeah.
bean to bean, but they post their stuff on other coffee company sites, and that brings back money towards them.
I guess, but like but
I've
even
recently
then like
looked at one of the photos that I did. It got over 6,000 views. I'm like, oh shit! And then I got it even had freaking comments on them. People said, "Yo, this is a nice photo. This is a nice photo."
I want to inject a problem with knives hypothetical here. 1 million subscribers on any platform, right?
Or followers, yeah.
Or followers. That number just it seems like it's like when people talk about, you know, national debt and it's like $16 trillion. Sounds like a made up number. Like it doesn't sound real. I'm never going to have 1 million followers. I'm never going to have 1 million subscribers. So I probably made the wrong choice. In my mind, if you said something like 100,000, I would totally still say YouTube because YouTube is going to
The
get
point
me
the
money.
point's the same. The point is the same.
Yes,
The point is
the same.
exactly the
Yeah,
same.
Google
It doesn't matter.
is the best.
I mean, and just to put it into
platform,
perspective, you can't wrap your mind around 1 million. Fair. It's
I
really
really
hard
can't,
for I
yeah.
think a human brain to do that. It's really
It
like
is. Yes.
difficult, right? But look at it this way. It's 10 times 100K, right? 10 times that. You know, that
That's
chunks
still
it down a little bit. It's
That's still
massive.
pretty hard. It's still pretty
It's
hard to
massive. It
understand.
is
Yeah.
hard, but we're talking about hypotheticals, like you mentioned. Now, I do want to say that we're in the weeds. We're in the weeds. Let's bring it back to
Yes.
growth.
We are.
What are the tactics and strategies and the things that you guys deploy to grow on these platforms, regardless?
I just shared mine.
So it's all about SEO for you mostly, is that right?
That's where it's going. Like after learning this, that's where it's heading for me. It's something that takes time. Like I got to get used to the fact that anytime I post something on TikTok, anytime I post it on Instagram, I need to go back to these other platforms and post it there too, because I want to be able to. If somebody searches my name or searches somebody that I worked with and whatnot, I want my name to pop up too. I always want my name or my content or like my content on 5 different sites. Like there might be somebody that sees something that don't never uses Instagram, but they use Pinterest all the time. So I want them to be able to say, "Let me look up a black and white photo." One of my joints pop up. I want to see a portrait session in the studio. One of my photos pop up. You know,
Oh, I thought
so
David was going to go next. That's
I'm
why there was a
thinking.
dramatic
I'm
pause
thinking.
there.
I'm
Usually
thinking.
he thinks.
I was
"Oh,
really thinking about like what are the tactics that I use for what kind of growth are we talking about here?
He yells at people. He yells at people. That's one
He
of
does.
his.
He's a yeller.
Oh
He's a
yeah.
yeller
Oh
for sure.
my god. Do you understand? So like this is
Here he
kind of
goes. Here he
spill
goes.
this is kind of spilling the beans. If you are listening or watching this and you are just I want to get more views and I want to get more engagement on TikTok or Instagram or even YouTube, one of the things is you need to evoke an emotional response. And one of the things that does that is yelling at people. Oh man, it works so well. It's the only reason I started doing it was
Conflict.
I did one TikTok where I was very I don't want to say aggressive because I wasn't aggressive at that point. I was very into it, very loud. I am a very loud person by nature, but I was like really, giving it my all. And a lot of people got upset with it. And I don't remember what it was. No, wait, no. It was a video where I gave away the 5 ways light is used in photography. And basically it was me saying that, hey, people are gonna try and charge you $500 for this information. Here it is in 5 bullet points. And there were some people in the comments who were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! How would you do this? How would you?" That's when I found out people, really want a personal Google in their lives. But then there were people in the comments who were also like, "Well, that's not what it is. It's not that easy." I'm like, "It really is that easy because I'm doing it right now." Um, but that's one of the big ones is you need to elicit an emotional response. Get your viewer to feel like you either offended them or entirely validated them. Absolutely works every time. I feel kind of dirty giving that information out, but that's what it is. That's why Knives, when you were like, I don't want to put out that hit piece, it's like, do it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll grow. Absolutely. Because it's going to piss
Yeah, I don't
people
want to
off.
be. Yeah, just for the listeners, I wrote a hit piece on.
It wasn't a
it's
hit
not a hit.
piece. It wasn't
I
a
wrote
hit piece.
I wrote a TikTok video. I write some of them out sometimes. This one was called "Why Peter McKinnon Going Viral Was a Mistake," and I sent it to the guys my verbiage of it, and I shot it, and I was like, I need to think about this, and here's why: because if this got even 10,000 views on TikTok, which is not it's pretty low barrier to entry. I didn't want to be famous for that. I didn't want followers for that. I didn't want heat for that. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't have anything against that man personally, and it's like 4 years too late. So that's why I
It is
talked
4 years too
myself
late,
out
yeah.
of it. Now, I will also say the work that you said, David, that you consciously put into growth hacking for me is like I'm super not interested in that, and that's why it works against me. Like I'm really not
But here's
interested
the
in
thing.
that.
But here's the other thing. Here's the other thing too, is like you don't have the only way pissing people off or making people enamored are not the only ways to grow on social media. And I absolutely or even YouTube. So is YouTube social media? Have we
It
we
is.
discussed it?
It
It
is.
is okay. The
Yeah.
other way that I also do it, I started doing it recently, and it's actually worked out really well. Is tactile responses in my videos. So like if something happens, I add a sound and that's it. It's just people love it for some reason. I don't know what it is. I think it's just constantly resetting their attention with the amount of ADHD going around for everyone nowadays. So that's definitely helpful. I'm trying to think what's another tactic is oh, Cam said this one. I don't really use hashtags. I use them sometimes and just kind of for funsies, but like sometimes it's hit or miss totally. Like sometimes they do really well for me and sometimes they don't. Um that's really it for like social media hacking, like growth hacking on social media for me. That's really those are it. Everything else that I know about growth and trying to grow is done more creatively or, more personally, introspectively. We don't have to talk about that.
I will say for me, hearing you guys, I realized, oh wow, I do put more effort into this than I thought I did. Even if I'm not rich and famous or anything, I have made content that got me work, that got me
Mm-hmm.
paid, and so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna say something. This is a flex, and it's kind of a callback to one of the episodes we did about how to make money. I had asked you guys what your biggest payday was, and nobody asked me what my biggest payday was. And I'll say
We're
it now,
scared
and
to
that's
ask.
20K. No. Well, there's no
Whoa.
reason to be scared because I ain't gatekeeping information. I'm here to give away these gems for free, for real.
Okay. All right.
And
Wait. You made
20K
20K in a day?
20K per project, and I did it 3 times in a year, and it was pretty sick. And it was, three deals, 3 separate deals. And I say that not to impress you guys, but just to impress upon you.
Too late. I'm already impressed.
The only
Yeah.
reason for the listeners, because you know me, I'm not the type of guy, very average dick. Okay, just to kind of put it out there. But I will
Coming right
say,
off the episode where he said he's got big dick money. Like,
well, the taxes, man. This goes back to, you see how it all comes together? The taxes. Uncle Sam gets a
Yeah.
piece. But I will say, like, I'm not trying to impress anybody. The only reason why I say that, it's because of my presentation on social media. It's not because I film on a red. It's not because I'm fucking that damn good. I've been saying this notoriously for 10 years. I am mediocre at best, but I show up. I'm the first to show up, last to leave. That work ethic. And I bring that work ethic in my quote unquote social media content. Now, what has worked for me is low effort content. When you do low effort content every single day and you commit to doing it every single day, eventually there's a gradient. January, February, March. What starts off as really shitty, because that's what you can do, eventually graduates to something that looks like this. I didn't start with this composition. I didn't start with this light. I didn't start with this focal length, etc., etc. I graduated to that because I showed up and I made content every day. So if I have pushback for any of you guys when it comes to growth, I do think content is very important. You still have to be good no matter what. Talent matters, skill matters, luck matters, but consistency also matters. I've seen so many people go viral on TikTok and then that's the story of them. They never really capitalized on it. That's that. There were so many people who never capitalized off of Vine either. And there was like 10 guys that did, right? We all know who they are. It's the same thing.
Yup.
You
Yeah.
have to show up every day, and if you hit a home run 2 months ago, it doesn't matter. If you went viral 2 months ago, it doesn't fucking matter. What do you got today? To me, consistency is not only how you get better as an artist, in my opinion, the reps, the man hours, the Robert Greene 10,000 hours philosophy, which I do agree with, but eventually your work starts to look better and starts to attract more people. And for me, the first 1,000 followers on TikTok was the hardest. And the way I did it was by posting every day. And then I got to 2,000 really fucking easily, and then to 3,000 easily. And then there was another plateau, and I'm like, fuck, how do I break the? It took 2 months, and then boom, 4,000. And so, but by showing up every day, when I stopped, boom, I started losing like the muscle mass, essentially, the creative muscle mass. So for me, low effort content, not judging yourself, but also showing up every single day. All that matters is the decision makers that follow you, who have money, who want to pay you for something, who like you, who want to work with you again. The more they see you, to Cam's point, the SEO and all that shit, the more they see you, the more accessible you are, the better it's going to be for you. And I guess in a way, like 1 million followers is maybe underrated, because if you got the cash coming from people who are watching you, it's the people. It's the quality of people versus the quantity of people maybe that matters more. But you'd be surprised, man. People have reached out to me, and I don't have a crazy following on TikTok. I really don't. I'm enamored with the creators like you. We were talking off mic about Cody Warner. I love this guy. There's so many different people that I keep an eye on, like my For You page, the people I follow. I look up to them. Like those are the people that I want to work with, essentially. The black mass, that's a weird phrase. Sorry, Cam. Just kidding. Like the aimless
What
void.
The fuck?
The-
What the fuck?
The aimless void of people. That's an expression. That's an expression in theater. Fuck you.
I understand that, but it was
The
fine
aimless
until
void-
it was fine until
I know.
you said
I
sorry,
made it weird.
Cam.
I made it weird. But needless to say, just like I don't want just a bunch of crazy followers. I care about who's actually following me. That's it.
Yeah, it's true.
A
Yes,
hundred
I agree.
100%. Nah, 100% agree with you. Like it's more about who's following me over how many people are following, which is why I don't bug about the fact that I still only have 26 some followers and whatnot. Like yeah, cool. I know out the 26 something. I'm like,
So-
where'd y'all come from?
So
Hell yeah.
for me, my first 1,000 on TikTok happened in a single day off of one video. I've been
Wow.
very lucky on
Wow.
TikTok, haven't I? Wow, I really have been. Now that I think about it,
That's pretty cool.
I hit 10K in 1 year. Like, I mean, I'm not no other photographers who are like growing exponentially at this point, which good for them. That's fantastic.
So you're
But
not a Peter McKinnon?
no, he grew so fucking fast, and
To,
it's
to,
just
to
funny.
Cameron's
It's
point,
just funny,
about Peter McKinnon and his growth, how he was able to get 1 million subscribers overnight or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I discovered him through an article that was like on my Facebook page that took me to a link that took me to the article that was written about the fucking camera hacks. And then I saw him
Yeah.
on YouTube, and then I was like, "Oh, that's the guy." I followed him. I was like, "I want to, what else has he got?" But it
Mhm.
wasn't from YouTube directly. It was through the algorithm, through the SEO, through people that wrote
I
stuff about it. Like you really have to transcend off your platform to really hit it big.
I was I was
Cam's
introduced.
face.
What is that face for? What,
Look at Cam.
he's gonna eat someone?
Look
What
at
the fuck is happening here?
What is so funny?
It's just it keeps going back to what I said. I love it.
Oh, about Google. Yeah, about Google.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
was
true.
introduced
I
to-
don't have any
I was
pushback
introduced-
on that.
I was introduced to Peter McKinnon when I typed into YouTube one day back in like 2019 landscape
Suicide Boys.
photographers. What?
Oh. My bad.
What? I typed in landscape photographers and then I hit enter, and the first thing that popped up was a video called "The Mountains Won't Remember Me" or something. And I watched it. I was like, "Oh, this guy's got some style to it. Oh shit!" Then I watched it, and then after like a year or maybe two of enjoying what he was making, I kind of was like, "Yeah, he's kind of he's a grifter."
You know what? And I figured it out. I figured out why we really stopped. We really kind of fell off of Pete. I figured out why. Because for me, I was enjoying watching his growth.
Mhm.
And I think that's what I'm
That was
missing
really-
from Pete.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That's what
watching
I'm
him
missing from Pete
grow.
is
Yeah.
is watching him grow, going from from where he was to seeing where he is now. I miss seeing that. I miss watching him talking about the movies that the short films that he made. I
Yeah.
missed watching him talking about getting that coin that he got. Like I miss seeing his
Oh yeah,
accomplishments.
that was a great
because
video. The bucket shot was a great video.
like watching those accomplishments is what inspired me to keep going, and now it's just him living his everyday
Selling
life,
shit.
which isn't bad.
No, it's just
Like,
him selling shit. Where is
you know,
my fucking hair tie? down?
not all the time, not every video
It
he
feels
does
like it,
is
man.
him selling
It
shit
feels
anymore.
like I said, I was watching him like last week because he popped up on my YouTube and I was like, fuck it, why not watch? And I was like, I understand why people like him. He gets you hype. He really does. But like at some point in the video, I was like, oh, it feels like he's trying to sell me something. It does. Like not even with the, every video sponsored by Squarespace thing, which I do think is hilarious. Like he must be making them so much money. He must be. But like it's just the content within the video around the ads, it just feels like he's trying to sell me something. And that goes back to the big point that Knives made. One of the first conversations we had, Knives, he's a fucking magician. That's his whole shtick.
Now, one thing I want to add we're talking about growth here for those who are
Yes.
listening.
Oh,
and
yeah,
thank
I
you-
keep forgetting
thank you
about
still if you made it this far, I really appreciate the listeners right now. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. We're on Spotify, you name it. But I will say the growth hack that I'm the most jealous of when it comes to Peter is
Mhm.
his network. The fact that, and they're called the what they're called, like the
Dope Squad.
Dope Squad.
KK, that one, yes. The Dope Squad and all those guys. Jesse Driftwood's my favorite of them.
Yeah.
I just think he's the most authentic. And the Chris Howe and the Hapoyas and all these guys like that, I
Yeah.
think also had a lot to do with his growth. Like he had a great community, and
Mhm.
so I'm really jealous of that. I'm alone. I'm on an island out here, and I wish I had five. This is why I love doing this podcast and this show, and
Yeah.
why it encourages me to show up and present my best self and to make stuff. And who knows where this is going to go? But I do think it's a that's part of the process that I really, really love.
Well,
And the Vine family that kind of grew up, the Pauls and everybody that was in that circle, they were a community as well. They were like a content house, right? And though I
Yeah.
do think that's part of growth hacking as well that I have seen work.
no, and I 100% agree, which is the reason why I've always been, hey, you're a creator, come here. You're a
Yeah,
creator, come here.
you're really good at
You're
that,
dope,
man.
come here.
One of the
Come meet this
things,
guy.
like I really identify with what you said, Knives, on feeling like you're on an island. I go out and I
Yeah.
shoot like twice a month at this point. I go out, I batch shoot a bunch of photos, and then for the over the next month or two, I just put them on Instagram or something, right? And I have been trying to find like another photographer here that does like street photography, dude. There's like nothing up here. There's no one up here, and that's like one of the big things why I also enjoy doing this is like, man, I've been wanting to collab with people since I put that fucking video on TikTok, and no one has taken it yet. And I'm finally going to say it. I feel like people prefer complaining about bigger creators not wanting to collab than actually collabing with bigger creators. I fuck it. That's
Well,
all I can think of.
this is the personal development. If I can give you some 2 cents here, don't take it personally. And I have to
I'm not
practice
going
what I
to.
preach too. Just because I read that in a book
Mhm.
doesn't mean I do it every day. I'm really bad at it. I take everything
Of
personally.
course,
But
of course.
they're off building their own dreams. Odds are they don't see it. Dude, one of my growth hacks is I
Hmm.
repost. You guys have probably seen this, but I repost on TikTok a video that did really, really well. I'll
Yeah,
repost it 45 days
yeah.
later, and it does triple better. And a whole new group of people who didn't see it before see it again. I really believe in that. Like, I have this one video that every time I upload it, every 90 days or 180 days, it just gets
Hmm.
more and more views. And I'm like, motherfucker, and I put so much work into that video. So the re-uploading matters. And all these people, they're just building their own dreams, man. Like, don't take it personally. They
Oh
probably
no,
didn't
I'm
see
not
it, and
taking it personally.
it's not
I'm
because
not
it
taking.
wasn't good.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. No, no, no. That's not what it is. That's not at all what it is.
But
It's
we
the
also don't get
fact.
to decide why they're not collaborating. Like, we don't know why.
I
We really
understand
don't.
that. I understand that. Yeah, I get that. I do. But man, if anyone who's listening or watching this wants to collab, just let me know on TikTok. Fucking holy shit.
And then it's crazy to hear that from you two, because me, like, I'm here, I just reach out to people and say, hey, you guys want to go do something. I could call
Cam,
somebody up.
I truly believe you forget that you live, and I used to live there too, in one of the top 5 largest cities in the United States.
Well, see, but that's the thing, it wasn't just here. Like, even when I was in Vermont, I knew who I could call and say, meet me here, and they'd show up.
Would you
And
guys
Vermont
go and
fucking
hang out in
sucks.
Vermont? Vermont
Huh?
blows, dude.
I, exactly. Vermont blows. Vermont is a shitty
Yeah.
fucking town. Is a shitty fucking state and
I don't know.
whatnot.
I don't know. I'm just kind of sitting here. I'm just kind of thinking to myself, like, I don't know how I can find more photographers here. I just don't know. I can't. And all the
Have
portrait
you?
photographers seem to take the same fucking photos around here too. So shit.
This might be just in case anybody's never thought of doing this shit. It's
Mhm.
probably a little nugget that you might not know of. Look up a Facebook group if you have a Facebook.
I'm part of 3 of them.
Oh, dude, I'm part
Keep
of like
posting.
190
Keep
of them
Why would
keep
you be a
posting.
part of
I can.
190 Facebook groups?
because I'm fucking crazy.
So let me tell you why. Because
Clearly.
I have this friend, and I'm gonna give him a fucking shout out, even though I don't want to, because I hate his fucking guts and
Okay,
whatnot.
that's fair.
But in one of those groups, this is how I met him. This man reached out. He said, "Hey, look, I'm looking for new people to hang out with, and what I can go out and shoot with. Is anybody available?" I was like, "Yeah, shit, I'm available," and whatnot. And it was me, him, and 2 other people. Okay,
Shit.
those 2 other people dropped off the face of the earth. They're out in the world doing their own thing. Me and this man, we're still together. We still go out. You guys seen him on my fucking TikTok a few times.
Yeah,
He's the asshole the asshole with the dreads and whatnot.
gotcha.
And we're still friends, but now it's going past just being friends to now we're business partners. If I need a
Oh,
photographer because
that
I gotta do
reminds me.
videography,
That reminds me, actually, Cam, that guy on Twitter that wanted to be a guest on here, have him reach out to me. since I'm the one
Oh, Mark.
who's working out the schedule on all of this with the guests and whatnot. So yeah, just have him reach out to me.
Okay. I'll have
All
Cody
right,
reach out to you also, because
Definitely, yeah,
Cody's
definitely,
dude.
please, yeah.
Cody's the man. I'm gonna get that guy on a guest here one day. He's the fucking man. Also, a
Um,
mad underrated content creator who deserves a
he
million
really
subs.
is. He really
Yeah.
is. He
I will
really
take
is.
your word for it. I haven't watched them. Fucking new to me,
Well,
news to me.
All right. So as we are wrapping up here, I want to thank
Of
the
course.
listeners so much for watching. This has been amazing. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Give Cam a follow. Come on, look at him. Just look at him. And David Lugowski, I do want to say
Solid.
follow him because I kind of have to, but this guy has more followers than me, and it hurts. It
I have
hurts. No, follow
I
him,
have
please.
10.7K. So yeah, I have a little bit more than Knives and Cam combined.
For now. For
Dun dun
now.
dun.
you can keep
Yeah,
that
you
shit.
can follow me. I think Knives puts the links down below, right?
I sure do.
Sweet tits.
Thank you guys so much for listening. This has just been another episode of The Gatekeepers. We'll see you next time.
Deuces.
Dun dun dun.